Okay, Sagittarius, so let's check this out. What is important for you in April? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Very interesting card. Haven't seen this one for a while. Now, some of you are dealing with an earth sign in your life, a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn. And I also feel that money and wealth building is going to be important for you for this month. You're definitely looking at new beginnings of some type, or of maybe there's a new business venture that you're working on. There's a new plan. There's a new financial goal that you have in mind. It is an ace. So we're talking about a beginning, a seed that has been planted. And this can really manifest and show itself in lots of different ways. For others of you, health is going to be a primary focus this month. And we do have two snakes here, two wings. Maybe you're really looking at yourself as a whole. Maybe for a while you were focusing on one aspect of your life, like just your physical life or just your mental life. And now I feel, Sagittarius, that you're looking at the broader picture of yourself. You're saying, how am I doing on a holistic level? Not just the parts, you might be taking a class. You might be starting a new exercise, something on a more holistic, more natural, new supplements. You're looking at your whole body, your spirit, your soul, your body, your emotional well-being, your mental well-being. And this is new. It's almost like maybe you've had this new awareness. Maybe things have run you down, or for whatever reason, you're seeing things and you're seeing yourself in a different light. And so taking care of your vessel, taking care of your temple is going to be important for you. And this is a beautiful energy, honestly, to have around you, because it's, we know Sagittarius is naturally lucky, and maybe this is one of those times that, you're ready to usher in this new prosperity in your life, whatever this looks like for you. You can be prosperous. Everyone has their own unique definition of wealth and success. You might be giving the gift of health to someone else, because this is a very generous card. You could be receiving or giving a gift, or desiring to share what you have been given, desiring to share healing in someone else's life, making a difference for someone else. And others of you, it might just be a time where you're stepping back a little bit. You're allowing your body to heal if there's been an accident, or something's been hurt, or you just, maybe just emotionally you're needing more time to recover. But regardless, I feel that this is a positive energy. Like, I don't feel like you're going to let anything get you down, Sagittarius. In fact, I feel that you're being quite optimistic about any setbacks you've experienced. To you just see them, the positive vibe that surrounds you, the healing energy, and, the abundance and the optimism, and that all things are possible. And so I feel like whatever this has been for you, you're just going to grow from it. You're looking for growth, abundance, healing. If it comes to finances, you're going to keep your eyes out for good deals, financial opportunities. You might be signing a contract for a business deal. And it might be the perfect time to start a new business, and that it's going to be successful. Like, you can just feel the good vibes surrounding it. All right, so let's talk about what you are valuing and identifying with. This actually, I feel like, falls right in line to what your priorities are. We have the Two of Cups. So now we're moving up to the number 2. For some of you, this is you. This is you going solo. And once again, we have the yin and the yang. We have the dark and the light, or just the contrast in your life. And it's very clear that this is about harmony for you. I do feel that some of you have seen some either highs or lows, or have felt maybe a little too much extravagance in some area of your life, maybe just being burned out. Something got off kilter, and now this is what's important to you. It's like you're reining back in, you're stepping back in, and you're like, at the end of the day, it's about balance and feeling emotionally balanced within yourself. Not giving too much, not holding back too much, finding that perfect place. Others of you, this is a relationship. You are dealing with someone in your life that you're feeling probably pretty bonded with. You're feeling connected with. Maybe you're understanding someone more, and they're understanding you. If it's been a struggle, you've been through some rough times, it's like things are starting to grow. Or this is where you want to. You're gonna take the leadership. You're gonna take the direction, and you're going to move it forward and you know what to do. It's like you have this new awareness of what this looks like, what perfect harmony in a relationship looks like, how to blend opposing energies, because these are opposing energies. They're very contrasted. And this takes creativity. You got to think outside the box. You have to use your knowledge and your vast experience and your spiritual connection and your intuition. And I just feel that, Sagittarius, you're about mediating this month. You're about making peace. You're about creating harmony within yourself and in your environment and in your relationships. And this could also manifest for you in creative places. Maybe you're going to be doing something more artistic. An event. You could be having an event where it's about artistic people and creative people and showing that side of yourself. This is your emotion. So it could also be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, of course. But you're in tune with your vibe. You're in tune with your gut, your instincts. So really beautiful. And the goal here is emotional balance. So health, healing, emotional balance, bringing harmony and peace to your relationship. So really beautiful energies. And I do feel like you have these strong abilities this month. Okay, so what the possible distraction, illusion, or doubt is, we have the Four of Pentacles, and this really is the card of security. So, couple things. Sagittarius, by nature, you're pretty optimistic. You're pretty hopeful. Maybe you are stretching yourself here, even for you. Maybe you're in kind of this growth spurt phase, and whatever you're doing in relationship, in your life, in your business, in your health, maybe you're just not feeling very secure, or that, you're just not sure if it's going to bring you the security that you want. Maybe you feel like you're kind of like walking in the dark, like you're having to have a lot of faith. You're having to have a lot of belief, even if you don't see everything manifesting as quickly as you would like. I do have to point out, too, that I think tomorrow, the 9th of April, we are actually going into Mercury in retrograde. And it's in the sign of Taurus. And so that would kind of make sense. This is an earth sign. It's Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. And it's Mercury in retrograde in Taurus is all about financial stability and questioning our stability. Questioning what makes us feel safe in life. Where do we feel that sense of home and groundedness? Honestly, Sagittarius, it might hit some of you. It's not anything to be scared of. Whatever comes up during Mercury in retrograde are things from the past that we have not fully dealt with. Things from the past will revisit you. And this could be financial, like financial worries, concerns. Things can slow down as well in Mercury in retrograde. Technology. You have a computer here. So this could be, just the Mercury in retrograde thing where things just aren't like moving as quickly as you had hoped. There's like glitches in technology and in communication. But regardless, I do feel, for whatever reason, a sense of your stability and security, whether that's financial, emotional, mental, psychological. It could be a little bit of a challenge for you. And I think that is rare, honestly, Sagittarius, because you're pretty trusting, you're pretty hopeful. So it takes a lot to kind of rattle your cage. So for some of you, security and whatever that means to you could prove to be kind of a distraction, an illusion, because it's false evidence appearing real, or a doubt that kind of creeps up in the month of April. So what is the strategy for you to take? I love this. I love this. We have the High Priestess energy, and it's another number 2. So this is all about, some of you Sagittarius, you're being guided right now. You're being spiritually strengthened and pressed to grow. And that's what your sign is all about. It's not handed to us on a silver platter. Many times it is, but this time for you is going to require you to dig deep. You can see, this is just surrounded by purple energy. Purple energy, which to me is like the deep psychic chakra, where you have to depend on your knowing, your deep intuitive, your feminine side, your female side. The High Priestess here, she can represent the moon, your subconscious, your emotions. It represents your connection to God and the spiritual side of yourself. And it's about bringing all of those realities to earth. And honestly, Sagittarius, that's really what your sign's about. You're meant to learn and also to teach at the same time. Like you are the eternal student. You're always learning because you realize that anyone that thinks they know everything, they're not learning anymore. So you're always learning, but you're always teaching at the same time. And I feel that it's all about this duality right now, Sagittarius. How do you take these universal truths that you know, these universal philosophies that you have a deep understanding of? How do you bring that to earth? How do you make that practical in the real world? How do you take that knowledge and use it in a way that's beneficial not only to you, but also to others, to bring harmony and healing and peace? This is a time for you to uncover secrets. This is a time for you to pursue mysteries. And I also feel that whatever you're delving into here, this stuff is deep, Sagittarius. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of depth to whatever you're doing, the people that you're interacting with, the visions, the dreams, the goals that you have. There's a lot more under the surface that maybe you're not even aware of. And the message here is dig. Go for it. Dive in with both feet, because you're going to gain rich insight, rich wisdom. You can trust yourself. You can trust this higher knowing and this intuition. Develop this. This is, just these three cards alone: healing, high priestess, emotional harmony. This is going to be a powerful healing month for you, and it probably has to do with Mercury in retrograde as well. It's a time where things might slow down for you, but that's going to force you to generate a deeper knowing within yourself and learning to trust yourself. So many of us have this ability and we don't trust it, and it's human, right? But I do feel that you have a higher hunger for knowledge beyond what we see, and she's going to give you the wisdom to grasp these new opportunities that are coming your way. Okay, this is really interesting, Sagittarius. You literally have, as far as numerology goes, you have a 1, a 2, a 2, a 4, and now we have another 4. So there's like a lot of growth and a lot of movement and things. There are some things at the initial stages, but stability is a key theme for you this month. The number 4, I feel like, is kind of what you need to work on, and also what's kind of the shadow of the month, or the challenge. The number 4 is a masculine energy. And it's also about you reflecting your own inner strength and stability, despite what's happening around you. It can also talk about how productive you are, how you value conventional things, and if you're traditional in life. And it's about the practical aspects of your life. It's about you being more detail-oriented, organized. Okay, and I know you're getting bored just by me saying all this stuff. It's about the orderly, systematic, methodical, precise, reliable, how punctual you are, how dependable you are, how honest, trustworthy. This guy, he's got a clock. He's always punctual. He's always on time. He's always logical. He's on a block. He's not moving. So Sagittarius, someone is asking you to step up, okay? You're having to step up into this role, and maybe you're not that comfortable in it. Maybe you would rather play and have fun, but for whatever reason, I feel like the right attitude to have towards yourself and others is this inner maturity. Like, you're going to have to, not necessarily turn the other cheek, but maybe so. Like, as a father looks after his children, as the emperor, rules justly and righteously and is a rock that people can depend on. You might have to be this month, Sagittarius, for whatever reason. You're going to have to rely on your inner strength. There may not be other people that can tell you what you need. You may have to be the source of that for yourself. So looking for outside validation, and maybe you're used to people will be like, you're amazing, you're awesome, you're so good at what you do. And this month, it's almost like you have to have that strength within yourself. You have to be your own rock. God's power and your own validation. You are your own source. And also, I do feel some of you are going to be tested here. Tested in your values. Tested in your conviction. And can you stand steadfast? Can you not be moved and believe in yourself, even if someone's not believing in you? Can you stand firm? It's really about you developing your own internal power and having your own self-control over the situation, not being controlled by outside circumstances, but you being that power. Stability, logic, and reason, and using your own authority to achieve your dreams and goals. And to keep calm, because there may be chaos outside of you, and you may not even be creating the drama. In fact, I feel like you're going to have a really benevolent, peaceful spirit, and maybe there's drama outside of you. Make your decisions based on facts, and you're in a very powerful position to achieve your goals. So let's look at the outcome or the realization. And I think that this is such a power-packed reading because there are challenges, Sagittarius, and they're outside of you. We do have the Five of Swords. So you're doing all the right stuff, okay? You have all the abilities to rise above. It's almost like the universe is allowing some type of challenge to see how, what you've got, really. But you have what it takes, so don't forget that. So this is some type of loss. It could be an air sign. You might be dealing with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Don't be afraid of the Sagittarius. It's just that something maybe that you had high hopes for, maybe a relationship, maybe a conversation, it's just not going in the direction you had hoped. It can represent a loss, someone feeling embarrassed by something, feeling dissatisfied, or just not content. And so whatever this is for you, and once again, Mercury in retrograde, we're all going to be facing something, right? The key here to this card is that you're going to have to fight for it. But you are a fire warrior, right? So you love a challenge. If everything was just handed to you, Sagittarius, you would be bored out of your mind. The other thing about this card is someone may not be being honest with you, okay? And they could have a hidden agenda, because I feel like overall you're where you need to be. You're working on everything, but maybe someone else is not what they appear, and you sense that something's fishy, something's up, something is not right, and that's probably the High Priestess, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. And maybe this is not even fair. Maybe you've treated this person perfectly and they leave and they don't even explain themselves and they don't even care, whatever this is. So the best thing you can do, you can't control anyone else. You can only control yourself. So if someone does not act fairly, if they act dishonestly, make sure that you are always operating in an ethical manner, because what goes around comes around, and you will be justified in the end, and you will know that you've done the right thing regardless. So overall, I think that you're growing in leaps and bounds, and I think that you are having an influence on other people, but sometimes we have to fight for that. We have to fight for our goals and our dreams, and I think you're going to be given a lot of opportunities for that this month. You will be tested, but you're coming out with flying colors, Sagittarius. So that's going to complete the Law of Attraction reading. Let's get started with your love reading. Sagittarius, the first card here is going to represent your expectations, hopes, and fears for love in the month of April. The second card is going to represent the obstacle or the challenge to overcome. And the third card is going to represent the realization or the outcome. All right, so does this surprise me? No, it does not. Okay, expectations, hopes, fears for love. We have the moon. And this is the card of Pisces. So you could be dealing with the Pisces. It could also be a water sign. But for a lot of you, I'm feeling like this is your energy. So, that is why I feel like that High Priestess was in that last reading. And because when we have the moon, there's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot happening. We have the subconscious is just in full effect. Once again, Mercury in retrograde, kind of astrologically what's happening right now, where our deepest emotional stuff is coming up. Some of it's real, some of it's imagined. And so here you are, you're sitting here, you're chilling, you're just doing your thing. And there's all this intensity around you. There's all this emotion coming up. Some of you are feeling fearful about a relationship, about a person. Are they what they seem? Can I trust this person? There can be kind of like false evidence appearing real, but some of it might be true. It's hard to know with the moon. It's hard to discern reality from imagination. I also feel that you or your partner could be kind of dealing with their inner demons or their shadow side or their darkness or stuff that they just don't really want to face. Like, can't we just talk about something else? This can be a card of anxiety and just feeling overcome by it. Others of you are having a hard time seeing clearly, like seeing the situation for what it is, or your partner, where it's almost easier to accept a false picture. It's easier that way. Like, let's just focus on the idealistic version of the person, the idealistic version of the relationship. That way we don't have to deal with like all the other stuff. And this is a beautiful card because it kind of taps into that more sensitive, imaginative part of us. But the problem with that is that it's really easy to have unrealistic ideas of what's happening. It's easy to experience a distortion because at night we can't really see. We think we can see, but like we make things out. Sometimes things appear in the shadows, in the dark. So we can easily chase after a fantasy. Others of you, if that's not resonating, you might just be having a lot of dreams and visions at this time. Like your emotions are definitely in high alert. And you might be more open to this, which would make sense with that High Priestess card. Like you're almost like fearful to go here, but you're drawn and curious and kind of like want to go there in a way at the same time. It's about plumbing the unconscious. You're like looking at your partner. Maybe this is all about your partner. You're trying to understand them. Why are they doing what they do? Maybe you're watching someone here and you're like, why is he doing that? Like, I'm trying to understand his motivations. So it is about entertaining kind of stuff that's kind of out there. And that's kind of also why I feel that having a lot of healing and balance, that's probably why you're feeling like that. Because you may be confused by all this. This could be just a little too much for you. You're like, where is this going? I feel like we're losing direction. So the main thing, Sagittarius, is that your fears and anxieties or others' fears and anxieties are rising to the surface right now. And it's something that it can be a healthy thing in a way because it kind of brings up the unconscious, but it can also be kind of confusing and bewildering at the same time. Okay, so obstacle or challenge to overcome. We do have the 9 of Pentacles, and it is in the reverse. So some of you here, it's financial. This is a financial card. It can be someone that's living beyond their means, spending recklessly. Or you or your partner could just be like working constantly and just not having enough time to play, like too much work. You can see there's a lot of pentacles here. So work life is just been demanding and draining and it's weighing you down. And just an inability to relax in this relationship. So you or your partner, like there's always something coming up. There's always something that needs to be discussed or dealt with. Also, it could be a lack of self-discipline and self-control, like basically just living too extravagantly compared to how someone should live. And this could be in a lot of areas, right? It doesn't always have to be financial. It could be diet. It could be work life. It could be just emotionally kind of just letting it all hang out. And, maybe you've been used to a certain lifestyle because she's very lavish here. She's wearing like a purple, beautiful embroidered dress, and she's obviously more higher end in society. And maybe this is just a time where you and your partner have to kind of rein things in, like even though you don't want to, but like someone is used to this really lavish lifestyle. So the appearances, once again, it's interesting because appearances can be one thing. Like maybe you and as a couple, everything looks great on the outside. You look like you're doing well. You're like the ideal couple, or it just could be you personally. But inside, there's a lot under the surface. There's a lot going on. It may not be as fulfilling as it looks on the outside. Oh, this is a little bit of a challenging reading for you. All right, so by the end of the month, we do have the Six of Wands. It is in the reverse. So honestly, Sagittarius, I'm just getting, and this has to be the Mercury in retrograde. We have some blocks here. We have some blocks. There's something, normally when it's the upright, it's like victory, moving forward, but the fact that we're in the reverse, something is being blocked somehow. Like she's looking out this way, and there's just wands in her face. It could be that, you're just, you have a hope for success, and it's just eluding you at this time for whatever reason. So this card can represent delays. It can represent setbacks. It can represent feeling frustrated. And I do feel like for a lot of you, this is your energy is fire, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, where you're getting tired of waiting for this person or this situation to turn around. Maybe you've done everything in your power. You're trying to figure this person out. You're taking the high road, and they're just confusing as heck, or your own emotions are confusing. Someone that you're dealing with what it could come down to is just a lack of confidence, a lack of self-esteem within themselves to make the necessary changes that they need to make. And something's going to bring you down to reality, I feel like, Sagittarius, coming down to earth, which would make sense because we're in that time where Taurus is going to show you where there are limitations, where things just are going to be blocked. But if they're blocked, Sagittarius, there's a reason for it. So I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, woe is me, or this sucks, or whatever, because if God is not allowing something to work for you, maybe the timing's just not right. Maybe there's a lesson that needs to be learned. Maybe it's your partner. Maybe it's not even you. Maybe they need to go through something. I do feel also that you could be dealing with someone that is kind of all show. Once again, this is kind of the card of like everything on the surface looks really good, where they may be a diva or like very arrogant. They have a very overinflated ego, but it's really false, it can be a sign of betrayal, a sign of unfaithfulness, a sign of someone being deceitful. And if this is you, Sagittarius, you might decide that you need to focus more on your career right now. Someone could be realizing that they need to put more energy and time into their finances, because that card can talk about that the career could be more important than the relationship. Maybe you're getting too competitive with each other, there's a competitive atmosphere and one's always trying to up the other one. Or maybe you're the very successful one and you are always having to take care of your partner. But I do feel something's going to come up for some of you where the relationship, any signs of weakness could surface. And if the trust is broken, then could be a challenge. And it will be up to you if you want to continue to put forth that work and effort to kind of breach that trust and to repair it. And if that person is worthy of you and your life and where you're going. Because the moon can represent secrecy, deceit, and lies. So something is not as it appears to be. It looks good on the surface, but when you dig down deep, there are deceit, lies, and betrayal.